Joseph. Look at all the drama he had, right?
Yeah.
And all the rebellions and all the Mishigas, and the Jews were always, rebelling and complaining and all this. We don't see that. Twice as many years, 80 years, twice as many as 40. In those 80 years that Joseph is ruling, you don't see that kind of stuff. You just have the 12 tribes come to him, and there's like this one little scene, right? That's it. Everything else is smooth sailing. So in his time, there was a peace like none other. Maybe only Shlomo Melech had that kind of, Solomon had that kind of peace, right? Mm-hmm. There was no drama. It's unbelievable. So he was probably our most, it was just the best time under his leadership. The best time to be a Jew was under Yosef. In the history of the Jews, that was probably the best time to be a Jew. Peace, he had everything taken care of. The Jews were living in their own Williamsburg. Everybody was happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
that answers your question in the long way. What was your question again? What was your question about Yosef?
Beats me.
No, bring it back up. I'll tie it back together if you can bring it back up. You got to bring it back up.
Joseph lavishes special favors on Benjamin and then sends his brothers home to Jacob.
Oh, you said to me, why wouldn't they quarrel just because Joseph said it?
Yeah.
Because he's this gigantic leader. He is the all-time leader of the Jewish people. Mm-hmm. He's a prophet, no less. He sees into the future, and what he says goes. And he's going to see everything that they do anyways, because he's got Ruach HaKodesh, right? So if they, quarrel on the way, he'll see it. He'll see it, He's got, Google Earth or something. He's going to watch them the whole way. Okay, go ahead.
So when Jacob's sons brought Joseph's bloody garment to Jacob and says, we found this, and they deceive Jacob that Joseph had been eaten by a wild animal. Jacob believes them. But when they come and tell him the truth, that Joseph now rules Egypt, they don't believe him.
Well, you ever think that's causative?
Yeah, it is causative, because when you're a liar, you don't tend to get believed after a while.
Because they cried wolf. Isn't that the real one? They said that the wolf ate him, right?
Yeah.
Right? And he got fooled by it once. Fool me once. What is it?
Shame on me.
No. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Yes.
Yeah, so of course, they lost their nemanis.
So the Torah is obsessed with justice, and so are Jews. The Torah wants the world to balance. If you lie, there should be an equivalent punishment. Eye for an eye is just. Jacob does not believe the brothers when they say that Joseph rules Egypt. But eventually, when Jacob sees the wagons that Joseph sent, money talks more powerfully than words.
Can we go back to one thing you just said there?
Yes.
Eye for an eye. You know that doesn't really mean eye for an eye.
I know it doesn't, but it's still...
No, but the one is important because there's going to be Christians watching this. And they think eye for an eye means eye for an eye. And all of our Muslim friends who are watching this right now, they really do the eye for eye thing. They'll pluck them out, right?
Huh.
Right. So let's just set the record straight. Oh, there's Baba Metzia, and you were supposed to tell me.
Baba Metzia, he's in Orlando.
Right. You were supposed to tell me when he comes online.
Okay, is he a relative of yours?
No, he's a friend of mine. Hey, Baba. Okay. What am I saying?
That's why I don't want you giving shout-outs.
Yeah, I was supposed to. I trusted you. You were supposed to do that. You didn't. You failed me.
You were saying that eye for an eye doesn't mean eye for an eye.
Yes, an eye for an eye means it's a monetary damages. So if a person, God forbid, got his eye knocked out, so what was that for?
It's 31-3.
Yes, I'm gonna win. If somebody, God forbid, has their eye knocked out, it's the monetary compensation for the loss of that eye. You determine how much is that eye worth to that person, like how much damage was incurred, and you sue the person for damages, and they pay for the compensate for the eye.
Huh.
So it's monetary damages. And then there's different types of damages, there's Nezek Shtar, but we're not going to get into all the details. But that's what it means. It doesn't literally mean, you knocked out somebody's eye, so we're going to pluck your eye out. No. Pardon me, excuse me. We're going to pay for the damages that were done to compensate this guy for the loss of his eye. Workman's comp, if you will. So it's a form of workman's comp.
Okay. So Jacob sees the wagons that Joseph sent. That's when he starts believing, because money talks more
It's
effectively.
like
than
he showed up
words.
they showed up in a limo today.
Yeah.
They showed up in one of these stretch Hummer limos, and
Yeah.
like the brothers piled out, like rock stars, right? And there was all the paparazzi and all this, and Yaakov's going, very interesting.
So when God identifies himself to Jacob, he does it as the concrete God of Abraham and Isaac and of Jacob, rather than as the universal source of morality, the creator of the universe. Because the latter would not have worked. Abstract moral principles are not enough. You need a concrete people to live them and to practice them. The only way that you can maintain a concrete commitment to beautiful sounding moral principles is through ritual observance, because rituals guard ethics. Rituals sensitize you to the divine presence and get you ready for the ethical struggle. So, for instance, there's that married non-Jewish woman, and because I've got the ritual of Torah talk here, it's like it's strengthening me from committing adultery with her.
Are you actually thinking about committing adultery?
Would that be wrong?
My God. Jeez.
So Ellen's studying psychology at UCLA. Why is the narcissistic not in DSM-5, Ellen?
Oh, can I just say something to
Yes.
Ellen? I have a psychology degree from UCLA. Is she an undergrad or grad?
I don't know. But we will find out. Okay. Judaism isn't stoical, so when Jacob and Joseph get together, like, they cry. Like, I grew up a stoical Protestant. We were raised not to cry. But, like, Jews give vent to their emotions from the book of Genesis to the present day. So this is dramatic to me because I was raised a stoical Protestant. So the patriarchs and other biblical characters are much more real and accessible to me since I converted to Judaism. As a Christian, they were also my ancestors, I was taught. But they lived totally contrary to Protestantism. They had these strict dietary laws. They were very emotional. They were...
Wait a minute. Okay, I want to...
Their literature is like very matter of fact about their lusting and like sexual matters. It's very matter of fact in the Torah. The patriarchs observed all sorts of mourning rituals. While like non-Jews today, they'll go back to work. They'll continue on with their lives. Often like, oh, my mother died, my spouse died, my kid died. I guess I still better go to work tomorrow.
Can I interject something?
I got two more sentences. They were tribal and they had attachments to specific places such as Israel. Go ahead.
You said that you didn't have dietary laws because you were Protestant. But
I had dietary laws because I was Seventh-day Adventist, but Protestants generally don't.
Oh, okay, because I was confused by that. Because I know that we talked about that your dietary laws and whatnot. The other thing I want to say, is that a Protestant thing or a Christian thing?
Which?
The whole vort that you just gave.
It's particularly true for Protestants. Catholics are kind of in between Protestants and Jews. So Catholics go in all directions.
Well, like you mentioned the thing about the not crying.
Yeah, Catholics will go in all directions. So
What
they're not as emotional, generally speaking, as Jews, but like Italian Catholics are much more emotional than, say, Catholics in Protestant.
And you have any data to back this up? Or is this just...
Yeah, my real life experience.
Uh-huh. That's it.
But I mean, you talk about the stiff upper lip. That's a British thing. Britain is a country influenced by Protestantism. So the stiff upper lip, this idea of the importance of being reserved and controlled, this is a Protestant thing. I mean, I grew up a Protestant, Seventh-day Adventist. I know how much more controlled and how much more nice Protestants are as opposed to like Jews who are vitriolic or expressive or wear their emotions on their sleeves much more. I have a Jewish friend who went to a non-Jewish funeral and like she was the only person crying.
It was a Protestant funeral?
I don't remember it was Protestant, but it was...
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
I cried at my nephew's wedding. Not the one who's at the TSA, because he's not married.
Yeah.
His little brother got married. Remember I went to that?
Yeah.
And I cried at that wedding.
Huh.
Okay? And my date, who wasn't Jewish, she told me to stop crying.